question per person so we can get through as many questions as possible, all right? Fabulous. All right, are you guys ready to get this panel underway? It is my absolute privilege to bring to the stage at this time the one and only Weird Al Yankovic!
How you doing?
I'm so good. How are you?
Good.
Amazing. Well, I wanted to start by saying you're getting ready to go back on the road for another tour.
That's true.
Bigger and weirder, and I know you're actually doing a show here in Columbus, right? Are you guys going to the show? It's already sold out. I want to know, what is your favorite thing about going on tour?
The deli tray backstage. It's really nice. Sometimes they cut the cheese into isosceles triangles. That's my favorite part. Yeah.
The best. Do you have any pre-show rituals that you do before going on stage?
Yeah, you know, it's when I'm on tour, I live like a monk. Like I live on the bus. I try not to even talk until sound check because I've lost my voice on the road before, and that's really not a great thing because if you lose your voice, they say the only way to get it back is by not talking at all, like for a week. And when you're doing a show every night, that's really not an option. So I try really hard to not to lose my voice. So I don't talk unless I absolutely have to. And then right before the show, I do like a vocal warm up. They're like, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So recently, there's a video of you and the wonderful Will Forte singing Chaperone's Hot to Go.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite performances that I've seen has been with you, Alice Cooper, and Steven Tyler doing a version of Come Together.
Right.
I want to know, who is another dream collaborator you would love to perform with?
Oh gosh, you know, I love performing with people like anybody. Like, well, let's do Paul McCartney. Sure, let's do that. Why not?
I wanted to ask because obviously music can severely affect our mood. You know, we could be having a bad day, we can put on Albuquerque, and it can totally change our day around, right? I want to know, what's a song that you can listen to, whether it's one of your own or another artist, that can totally change your day around?
There's so many. Probably the one that really lifts my spirits is a song called Mama Get the Hammer, There's a Fly on the Baby's Head. I listen to that, it just lifts my spirits.
Amazing. Very cool. What has been the strangest or the most unique thing that has inspired you to write a song?
Oh, I'm trying to think. You know, inspiration sometimes comes spontaneously, and sometimes like after me, like working really hard to try to think of like a variation on a theme. I think I just remember I was driving the car when MacArthur Park came on the radio, and I thought, oh, I could do Jurassic Park, but that was like a movie that had just come out. So it's not often that like an idea will spontaneously come to me like that. A lot of times there's a lot more sweat involved. Yeah.
I know that you also have your degree in architecture as well.
Use it all the time, yes.
I wanted to ask, because obviously you've been quite busy this weekend, so I don't know whether you've had the opportunity to walk around the convention center at all. There's a gigantic...
I came here.
Right, you made it here. Have you seen the gigantic head statue that's in the middle of the convention center?
I don't believe I have.
Oh, I wanted to know your take on it with your degree in architecture.
My take is I haven't seen it.
I have to get you there after.
Okay.
Cool. So if it's okay with you, we already have a huge line of people wanting to ask
Let's
questions.
do this. Okay.
So let's go to y'all. What's your name? What's your question?
My name's Andre. I had the pleasure of talking with you yesterday in the signing line.
Yes, I have.
Just to get the crowd, I don't think any of us will be completely happy until Weird Al is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
My wife just sent me a picture that somebody sent here. Apparently, there's a place at the Hall of Fame where people can vote, and apparently I'm number 3 on those right now. So we'll see.
What inspirations did you take? As an amateur astrologer, one of my favorites from you is That's Your Horoscope. And I've always been wondering something about that song, and that is that Virgo gets a javelin. And I know that there was a film called The Groove Tube, and I was wondering whether or not that was an inspiration, an homage, or whether or not you'd even come in contact with it.
I remember enjoying the Groove Tube. This is like I was in high school when that came out, but I definitely remember that. I'm sure it inspired me in some way, but I don't remember it being a direct inspiration for that song.
The news anchors keep getting javelins through their throat when they say through their chest when they say they're Virgos.
Yeah. Oh, I've always been a fan of javelins through people's chests, though. I mean, that's just something that I just, you know, that's just my humor. Yeah.
That is wonderful. Are the bridges on one breath?
I'm sorry?
Can you do the bridge on one breath?
The bridge
For horoscope.
Yeah, I don't think I can do it off the top of my head right now.
But you're a fantastic vocalist beyond all of the writing and the entertainment.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
So thank you so much for everything.
What's your name?
Hi, my name is Eve. I just want to say it's an honor to be speaking with you at all. My earliest memories of the internet are me and my brother like looking at going on YouTube and like finding weird like fan edits of your songs and things and like weird, you know, like the compilations of them. Anyhow, really shaped my sense of humor generally. My question today is, obviously Daniel Radcliffe plays you in the film incredibly, but is there anyone else that was like up for the role of you in the film, or someone that you were like was like a dream of, like, oh, I would love that person to play?
You know, Daniel Radcliffe was my first choice. We did have a short list because we thought, like, no way, Daniel Radcliffe's going to want to be in this movie. And in deference to him, I haven't been talking about who's on that short list just because I don't think it's fair to the other actors or really to Daniel. But we had like a half a dozen or so people that we thought, oh, they'd be okay. But Daniel was always number one for us.
That's amazing. I mean, he was incredible, so I understand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Antonio Rodriguez.
Hey, Antonio.
It's an honor for you just to say my name like that.
Antonio.
I want to ask, what's one memory that you want to, you know, throughout your career of music, of just like little skits that you've done that you just wish you could relive again? Because, you know, you woke up that morning, you're like, yeah, this is going to be the best one I ever did, right now. And then you just want to...
The best, sorry, the best?
A best moment.
Oh gosh, there's so many. I mean, you know, there's so many TV shows that I'm so thankful that I was allowed to be part of. The Simpsons, 30 Rock, Adventure Time, Gravity Falls. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And just little moments in my life. I remember, like, I got to play Carnegie Hall a couple of years ago, which was a thrill for me. And I just remember, like, after the first song, I just stopped and I said, you know, these kind of moments in life don't come by too often, so let me just take a moment and enjoy this. And the crowd like went nuts, and I got kind of teared up because it was a really emotional thing to like to be performing Carnegie Hall. So those kind of things, I'm happy to say, happen a lot in my life. I feel very blessed to be able to do what I do for a living.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Hi, I'm Oliver, and this is my brother Noah. So my question was, you wrote a song called "Trapped in the Drive-Thru," and it's just a 10-minute song of you talking to yourself or singing to yourself.
Yeah.
Like, what was your thought process when you're just singing this song to yourself for 10 minutes straight?
Well, when I was writing, I mean, the song isn't entirely based on a real-life experience, but it's sort of partly based. I mean, I think I was thinking of the In-N-Out drive-thru on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, and my wife and I would go there to pick up our grilled cheese sandwiches or whatever. And so I was trying to come up with something that would be funny. Well, the problem was the original version was so ridiculous and convoluted and weird. I was like, I can't make it weirder than the original version. There's just no way. So I thought, well, I'll just kind of turn it on its head and make it the most banal, you know, stupid, you know, uninteresting, 10-minute long song ever.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Al. My name is Liz. My
Hey.
father basically raised me on music, so thank you for that. My question is, of all of television history, has there ever been a theme song you wish you could parody?
What's that part? Oh, probably so. I mean, I did you know, I performed at the Primetime Emmys 10 years ago when Seth Meyers was hosting, and this wasn't my idea to do it. They asked me to do it, and I came out, it was actually pretty terrifying because I'd never even been to the Grammys to the Emmys at that point. They wanted me to actually do a full production number, and they had me doing parodies of all the big TV shows at the time that didn't already have TV show themes, like Mad Men and Modern Family and Game of Thrones and things like that. In fact, there was a whole bit where I talked about Game of Thrones, and Andy Samberg ran out into the audience and gave a typewriter to George R.R. Martin so he could finish writing the new book. So yeah, but that happens every now and then, yeah.
Thank you.
Hey.
Hi, I'm Kurt. I wanted to know if there was ever a moment in your career when you were like approached a musician, either for one of your parodies or maybe you're like at a movie premiere or anything like that, where they like recognized you first and you're like starstruck.
Well, my favorite story, and this is, you know, not a secret, this has been gotten all around the internet, but the first time I met Paul McCartney was sort of kind of like that, because Edith had just come out, this is 1984, and I got invited to the premiere of Give My Regards to Broad Street, which was a movie Paul McCartney had just put out. And I was there hanging out at Bistro Gardens in Beverly Hills, and I think I was talking to Michael Keaton, and he was a celebrity, but he wasn't Batman, or he was just like Mr. Mom at that point. And we were just kind of hanging out, and we were just kind of geeking out, like, oh, Paul McCartney's over there, Paul McCartney's over there. And I walked up to one of Paul McCartney's handlers or his PR people and said, could I meet Paul McCartney? He said, no, he's very busy. And I finally thought, you know, this is my one chance to meet a Beatle. I really need to meet Paul McCartney. So I'm hanging around kind of where Paul is. In fact, there's some MTV footage of Martha Quinn interviewing Paul McCartney. You see me in the background, and finally, when nobody was watching, I kind of sidled up next to Paul and said, Mr. McCartney, hi, my name is Al Yankovic. He goes, oh, honey, Linda, look, it's Weird Al. It's Weird Al over here. What? My brain exploded. He talked to me for like a minute, just like a normal person, but the whole time I'm thinking, I'm talking to Paul McCartney!
Thank you so much.
Is that an accordion that you have?
Nice.
Very cool. Hey, what's your name?
I go by Fusion. My question is you've done so many animated voices over the years, many of them which I love, especially Milo Murphy's Law. What show in the future would you love to voice act on?
Oh, there's so many. You know, I met the guys that did Rick and Morty a couple days ago. They came up and said hi, and I said, I'd love to be in Rick and Morty. That would be such a fun show to do. So, you know, I mean, I love doing voice acting. So there are very few shows I wouldn't want to be on. but yeah, that would be one of them. I would. My dream would be to be in any Pixar movie. That would be like my big white whale. I would love to do that.
Thank you.
Hi there, my name's Ron, and my question is, I read on the internet, I know you can't believe everything you read on the internet, but
It's all true.
it's all true. That would make me sad, because what I read was that Mandatory Fun was going to be, you were never going to do another album after Mandatory Fun, and I'm old enough, I like vinyl, and I like to have the album. I know you still got it in you. Can you make us another album and put it out?
Well, I'm not really putting out albums. I'm not retired from recording or writing new music. I mean, I've put out a number of singles in the last 10 years. I haven't been super prolific, I will admit that. I put out, there's a whole soundtrack album to Weird the Al Yankovic Story, and there was a new single on that, and I re-recorded a bunch of my old stuff. So I don't think I am ever going to do like another traditional album, sadly to say, but I'm still putting out stuff here and there, so you can burn it all on one CD and you can call it the new album at some point.
Add Huntington, West Virginia, it's a thriving metropolis to your tour. We'd love to have you.
Oh, nice. Okay. Jump up.
What's your name?
I am Alphonse.
Alphonse, hi.
Hi.
What's your question, Alphonse?
Have you ever heard or watched Murder Drones?
Murder Drone. I can't say that I have. I'm sorry. Should I? Yeah. Okay, I will. Thanks. Thanks for the recommendation.
Hi. What's your name? My name's Powder. So my question for you is, how did you get like the role for cheese sandwich on My Little Pony?
I'm not sure exactly how that happened. I know that Bill Anderson, who did the music for at least the first several seasons of My Little Pony, is an old friend of mine. In fact, he toured with me on my 1985 tour as a guitar and horn player. So I had that relationship, and he was telling me, oh yeah, the fans would love to have you on the show. I'd love to be on the show. And I know that there were all sorts of fans that were making, what do they call them? They would make their own music videos of my songs based on clips from My Little Pony. Then it became a thing for a while, and I guess they just, you know, I made it clear that, yeah, of course I would love to be on the show, and finally somebody asked, and Jason Thiessen produced the first episode I was on, and it was a blast. I really loved doing it, and then they had me back a couple seasons later. And for anybody that's upset, I had nothing to do with marrying Pinkie Pie. That was not my idea. I found out about that when everybody else did. So if you're upset with that, it wasn't me.
Hey.
Hey, what's your name?
My name's Kimmy.
Hey Kimmy, good to see you again.
You too. And I just first of all wanted to start off by saying thank you so much for all you did for me. You helped me battle through depression and some thoughts I shouldn't have been having. And just because of my autism and the way I look, I've been bullied. And I just wanted to first of all say thank you for what your music has done for me.
My pleasure.
And I have a couple of quick questions.
Sure.
What was your biggest inspiration on writing music? How did you come about it? Like, what was your process?
Mostly I've been writing music all this time so that I could get a voice acting role on Murder Drum. I've heard it's an amazing show, and I want to make sure that someday I'm going to be on that show.
And two, what did it feel like holding your first Grammy?
That was pretty amazing. And that doesn't get old, by the way. Like, I've won several Grammys, and every time it's a huge thrill. It's not like, oh, another Grammy. It's really great. And the first time you win a Grammy, I guess, is extra special because, then you can legally change your name to the Grammy Award-winning Al Yankovic. So that's nice.
And three, was your song the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota based on a real life event?
Real life event? Well, there is in fact a ball of twine in Minnesota, which is the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota. It's located in Darwin, Minnesota. Pretty much all the facts on the song are actually right. I think I was inspired by a copy of Roadside America, which is all these bizarre, touristy roadside attractions, and it struck me. It's not the biggest ball of twine in the world or even the country, but it's a big ball of twine. And I think the claim to fame is it's the biggest ball of twine made by one man, Francis A. Johnson, because all these other big twine balls are like big community projects, and I discount those. I like the one insane guy making the ball of twine. That's what speaks to me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good catch. Hey, what's your name?
My name is Cameron. This is my daughter, Rosie.
Hello.
Her question is, well, first, her favorite song is The Saga Begins.
Thank you.
She wanted to know what your favorite song that you ever wrote was, or which song of yours you had the most fun writing.
Well, I think my favorite song is The Saga Begins, and I had the most fun writing The Saga Begins.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, big fan.
Thank you.
My name is Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
What is your opinion on the music video of Close But No Cigar?
Whenever I hire an animator to do my animated videos, I usually give them free reign. I hire them because I admire their talents, and I don't want to micromanage. I give them too many notes. That music video was directed by John Chris Falusi, who is now pretty much canceled. But at the time, I mean, I was a big fan of his, and he created Ren and Stimpy, and I was a big fan of that show, and I was thrilled that he wanted to do it, and I kind of let him do what he did. There were a few things I think I told him, no, you can't do that. So he toned it down a little bit, but it's still a little bit more risque than would be my personal preference. So yeah, I mean, it's not exactly the video that I would have done for it or would have wanted, but I respect animators, and I tend to give them a hands-off approach.
What's your name?
I'm Nate.
Hello.
For voice acting for Cheese Sandwich, like how was it? Did you
It was great. It was really fun. I got to work with a lot of times the voice acting cast actually goes to, I think they do it in Vancouver, I believe, but they let me do it in LA. And they had Jason Thiessen, who directed it, and several other people from the show were there. It was just, like a normal voice acting session. Everybody was, having a great time and laughing, and went through the lines several times, as you do, and went through the songs several times, as you do, and they edited it all later. But they seemed very happy, and yeah, it was great. I loved doing it. Very happy to be part of the My Little Pony universe.
Hey, what's your name?
I'm David. It is surreal to actually seeing you after growing up with it's like so many voices, and listening to your music when I was younger, like Word Crimes, when the song begins, Fat and Eat It. But I was wondering, even though it's you don't sing it live because of how difficult it is, would you ever consider doing a lounge version of Hardware Store?
I actually consider that for one tour, and I won't rule it out entirely because I know people would want to hear the studio version. But yeah, I mean, if we were to do it, we'd have to kind of slow it down and make it jazzy or something, which it's a thought. Somehow I don't think that would be quite as satisfying, but I'll keep that in mind.
Thank you.
I am Payne, and I met you earlier.
Yes. There's some songs I like less than others. I will say, and I hate to say anything, because whatever I say I don't like, people say, that's my favorite song! But on my third album, my record label kind of forced my hand. I thought Like a Surgeon was going to be the single, and my record label, who up until this point had been pretty hands-off and just kind of let me do what I did, they said, we're not going to put out this album unless you have a Cyndi Lauper parody. I said, okay, well, I love Cyndi Lauper, and I think Girls Just Want to Have Fun is a great single and all that, but we have Madonna here. Madonna's kind of a big deal. And they said, yeah, well, you gotta have a Cyndi Lauper parody. I said, all right. So I did Girls Just Want to Have Lunch, which was sort of obvious and not that funny, and you can probably hear from my vocal stylings in that song. I was kind of doing it under duress, some girls just... I was just I can't believe they're making me do this song. Not that that's my least favorite song, but it was something that I'm probably, it probably wouldn't ever wind up on a greatest hits album.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Hey.
Hi, my name's Kieran. Apologies in advance if I stutter and all. And before I get to my question, I just want to mention that, so earlier I got an autograph from you, and I did this whole joke where I had you sign this printout of Chapel Roan. And I actually bought that from an artist at this convention. So
nice.
After I got the signature, I showed it to the artist. She goes by the alias Beeftopia, and she was really ecstatic. So I just really wanted to thank you for that.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, so getting to my question, just a simple one. What was the most difficult song to make a parody out of, just in terms of premise, lyrics, or music video?
Yeah, in general, rap songs are a little harder just because there's so many words to deal with. Yeah, I don't know. I think Couch Potato, which was my parody of Lose Yourself by Eminem, that was a tough one to do because there were a lot of words and there were a lot of internal rhymes. And it was, you know, once you break it down, it's actually a very complex song and a complex structure. So that was a kind of a tough thing to make it work and make it flow like the original did and still have it make sense and be funny. So that was a nice puzzle for me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Portia, but I'm actually asking the question for my friends Alex and Carter, and they're curious if there's ever been a hard enough time in your life to where you wanted or thought of giving up your path in music.
Well, probably before I got a record deal. I mean, I didn't, you know, I've always, you know, this has always been a dream of mine. I never, you know, thought I'd be in show business or be a Weird Al for a living. I did get my degree in architecture, and I spent a couple of years kind of working at minimum wage jobs and trying to get something going on. But, you know, in the back of my head, I was thinking, like, there's no way this is going to work out. Like, this is too ridiculous. I can't believe that, like, this would ever pan out. But I just kept at it, and I got lucky pretty early on. And ever since then, I've never really looked back. I mean, I love what I do for a living, so I don't really get easily discouraged. And, you know, I can't imagine ever retiring or giving up. I mean, this has always been fun for me, and I can't imagine a day when it wouldn't be fun for me.
Thank you so much.
The same thing I advise other people that are trying to break into show business is, like, have a strong online presence, get your stuff on YouTube, just put yourself out in the world. And it's so much easier today than it was 30, 40 years ago to just, you know, be seen. And if you're good, people will notice.
Thank you. All right, we have time for 2 more questions. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Evelyn, and my question is, what was your favorite part to sing in Polka Mania?
Oh, gosh, you know, they were all fun. I don't know, let me think, what would be? Oh, probably WAP, I guess.
All right, our final question, and then we're going to take a big group picture with everybody. What's your name?
My name is Anonymous. I hate my parents. My question is, have you ever thought about writing a stage musical?
There's talk about that. I'm not allowed to say anything more. Don't hold your breath, because things on Broadway, you know, we could be talking 10 years from now. So, but there's talk.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do you want to sneak in one more quick question?
Sure.
Okay, final one. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jack.
Hey, Jack.
What is your favorite Pokemon?
Oh, Dweezil.
Okay.
All right.
All right, nice.
On that note, if it's okay with you, we're going to take a big group picture with everybody here. So if you guys want to come to
Everybody
the
get together.
stage, yes, come to the stage, come on the stage, and we're going to come as close to the floor as we possibly can.
I'm very short. Can I get in front of you? Okay, yep, thank you. I'll get shorter. It's okay.